Good afternoon, everyone. I do hope you're having a good day. I'd like to provide you with inspiration today, and my inspiration today is centered around your comfort zone. A comfort zone is a place where you're comfortable. You know how everything works, you're familiar with the people, you're familiar with the routine, and you're just comfortable. A comfort zone can occur in your relationships. A comfort zone can occur in your aspirations, what you are willing to reach for and stretch for. A comfort zone can also occur in your mindset. So you have certain thoughts, they're established you have an established way of thinking, established pattern, and you do not allow anything else in. Anything else that contradicts that way of thinking is rejected because you're within your comfort zone. However, when you have a comfort zone, it means you've reached a plateau in your life. It means growth is almost impossible because you're not willing to let anything else that is new into your life. I interacted with a gentleman a couple of years ago. He was at the time, the director of a multinational company, and he decided to give up his job. And when I spoke to him and discussed his decision with him, he revealed that he didn't actually have another job to go to. He didn't know what he was going to do with his life, but he'd worked with this company from a young age, from his teenage years, and he was like in his 40s, and he'd reached a glass ceiling. And I asked him, and I was like, would you agree that with every level of success, there's a glass ceiling? And he agreed. He had reached that glass ceiling, and in his case, he decided to step out into the unknown. And the unknown for him was going to be without a job, perhaps for a little while, but he had a lot of skills. I don't think he would have been without a job for a long time. But the reality is, he decided to step out of his comfort zone. He decided to abandon what he was very familiar with. He was very skilled at what he did, and consequently, he'd risen up the ranks of the company. But he decided to step out of his comfort zone. And that's the encouragement I want to give to you today, because regardless of what area you are in your life, regardless of how successful you are or not in your life, there is a glass ceiling, and if you do not decide to break that glass ceiling, you will settle into a comfort zone. You'll settle into the familiar. You'll settle into the ordinary. Because guess what? What starts off extraordinary can become ordinary in time because it becomes a comfort zone. So people thinking about comfort zones might think I'm just referring to people who are still trying to be successful. No, this person that I was speaking with was already successful, but yet he had to step out and do something different and reach for something different. And stepping out of your comfort zone is going to be scary because you're not used to it. You don't know how things work outside of your comfort zone. So you know that you're in your comfort zone when you know exactly how things work, you know what your routine is, you know how people in that comfort zone act, you know how to behave. You know it all in a comfort zone. When you're outside of your comfort zone, you really don't know. It feels like you're learning to walk again. So that's why it's quite scary. You're almost starting again, but it's scary, yet it is exciting if you allow yourself to step out into your comfort zone. So I encourage you today to think about the areas in your life where you perhaps need to start doing something different. It could be in your relationships. Perhaps you've fallen into just the mundane. You've fallen into a routine. There's no freshness. Perhaps you need to start doing something new. Perhaps you need to start doing new things. Doing new things doesn't mean you always have to spend a lot of money, because at this time we're in lockdown. There's perhaps not that much that you can do in terms of restaurants and places like that, depending what part of the world you're at. But you could decide to perhaps take walks. Maybe that was something you used to do when you were dating, but now you've got kids, you stop doing it. Leave the kids with babysitters, go for a walk. Do something fresh, do something new, talk. Perhaps that's something you stopped doing for a while now because you've gotten into a routine. You don't have time to have conversations. Take a walk, talk. Take a walk at night and talk. Not just so think about doing something fresh, doing something new in your relationship. Perhaps it's the way you think, and you have settled and established ways of thinking. You have people in boxes, you have certain ideas, and you don't challenge those ideas. Now is the time. I invite you to come out of that comfort zone. Start to embrace new ways of thinking. When I say new ways of thinking, I'm not saying you cannot establish what is wrong and what is right. Of course, if you have values and you have a book that you live by, which I do, which is the Bible, then there is wrong and there is right. However, it's okay to step into somebody else's world to find out why they are the way they are. You don't need to agree with the way they are, but you can understand and try and learn, why is this person like this? Why does this person think like this? If you are able to step out of your perceptions, your way of thinking, your way of idealizing things or understanding things, and step into the world of somebody else, you'll be surprised what you learn. That's one way of stepping out of your comfort zone. You could also step out of your comfort zone by reviewing your aspirations. What do you aspire to? Have you placed limits on yourself? Have you allowed people to place limits on you? Have you allowed circumstances to place limit on you? Have you settled into a way of thinking whereby you say, "Oh, I can't do that. That's only for certain people." Why? Who made that rule? Who made the law that you cannot do what it is that you're stretching for? Tell me why. So start to write down those questions. What is it that you think you cannot do? What is it that you'd love to do but you think, I can't do that? That's not for me. People like me don't do that. But why not? Why not? You might not do it exactly the same as somebody else. You'll do it in your own unique way. Of course, you need to get information, training, just stepping out and doing things that you have no training for. You're actually setting yourself up for failure. But I'm just saying, dare to dream, dare to visualize, dare to step out of your box, this box that you may have made for yourself. Sometimes you make it for yourself, sometimes other people make it for you. But I encourage you, break that box, break that limitation, break out of your comfort zone and stretch for better. Okay, so these are my thoughts today, my words of encouragement, some training for you. Please feel free to share this with whoever you think needs to hear it. Until next time, from my heart to yours, do take it easy. Bye.